Hello, welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk about impulses and maybe impulse buying or being impulsive and maybe jumping into something without really thinking it through first. And how this can have consequences, both good and bad. So sometimes, let's start with things like food, right? Say you've got a goal and you're maybe trying to cut back on sweets, but somebody puts this particular sweet in front of you that you absolutely love, and you go ahead and you jump in and you have it. Or maybe it's tomatoes or something, and you know that tomatoes don't agree with you for various reasons, but you go ahead and you eat a tomato anyway. Or whatever the food is that you really want, but there are maybe not dire consequences, but there are consequences to you having consumed them. Or maybe you're, say, in an art store or a fabric store or, some sort of an automotive shop, and you see something that you'd like to have, but you don't necessarily have a use for it at that point in time, but, it's there. It's right in front of you. This is why they put candy bars by the cash, right? Although some stores are getting better at that, but, they'll put things by the cash that they think, magazines that they think you might, pick up and purchase. And get partway through reading a magazine, and then, it's your turn up at the cash and you have to put the magazine back or you have to buy it. Things like that. So there's lots of these temptations in front of us in all areas of our lives where there are impulses, right, to purchase them. Sales work that way. They get you into the store for a particular item and then they upsell you on other items. And the same can be said for, maybe you have to do some work, but you really want to, play the drums. And so you go ahead and you play the drums instead of working. It's all sort of impulse driven and immediate gratification and, passion sometimes. But then does it really serve us? Sometimes I like to say it does. It does serve us. It serves us. Maybe we're super stressed and that one thing will calm us down. That works to our advantage. Maybe we are going to create something and that particular supply that we bought 2 months ago is right there and comes in handy because it's exactly the color that we need, or the fabric that we need, or the car supply that we need, or whatever. Maybe you're collaborating with somebody, something that they need, and maybe they have something that you need, in which case, it's a win-win-win. Or maybe it's something that they need, and because you're collaborating on a piece, it takes the piece to a whole new level. It's a better symbol that that they have now with their drum kit, or it's the exact texture of modeling paste they needed, or whatever. So, sometimes impulses can work for us. But let's face it, most of the time, impulses are not necessarily, working in our favor. But they do make us happy in the moment, right? They do bring us joy. And they might not just bring us joy in the moment, they might bring us joy down the road as well. Every time we look at that particular item that we purchased, maybe it's just a piece of art. Maybe it wasn't something it wasn't a tool at all. It was just an actual finished piece of art or a particular piece of music. And every time you hear it or you look at it, you really enjoy, the feelings that it evokes for you. So, next time there's an impulse in front of you, just think it through. Just for a second, is it something that's really going to serve you? And especially if it's going to serve you in the long term? Or is it something that's just immediate gratification for here and now? And even if that's the case, will it alleviate something else that maybe is worse than want? Anyway, that's my musing for the day. Have a great one, everyone.